Hello and welcome to this episode of Artfully Orange. I am Vicki Landon, your host, and I am here today with Liz Kitchens, who's the author of Be Brave, Lose the Beige, Finding Your Sass After 60. So Liz, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, Vicki, thank you so much for inviting me. I've been excited about our conversation, so I'm glad to be here.
Oh, we're great to have you. So talk to me about how over 35 years of market research as a career and as a specialty and a profession led you to writing and authorship, or was it a parallel track that had been coming along this entire way?
I think women do a lot of things, and I write a lot about that. My husband and I have had this market research business, the Kitchens Group. Oddly enough, that's my last name and his. He's had it for probably 45 years. That certainly dates us. I've been in for about 40. And so I found that I really enjoyed getting data about women, especially baby boomers. That's at 71. I am definitely in that category. And so I became kind of fascinated by the attitudes, behaviors, interests of women in this age category. And so I started writing a blog called Be Brave, Lose the Beige. It was a line I used to use a lot. It's like, you don't have to have a beige sofa. You don't have to have a beige purse. You can have a little more fun. And so that became the name of the blog. And so that was, when I was about 56 years old, and it was 2009. And so I started writing about issues facing women of my generation, kids, parents, boomerang kids, empty nest. And then it became a little more, I hope my writing doesn't sound that serious, but some of the issues became really close to home: health issues, aging issues, caregiving, things that have a sobering thing. But I feel like you can still go through some of these things and have a wonderfully rich life. And so that's kind of it in a nutshell. And so my book and my blog do have a lot of stats. I'm a kind of a credentialaholic, and I want good sources of information because there's a lot of scary sources out there right now. So that's where the market researcher comes in. I'm really excited, and you're like the first person to really know this. We just did a national survey of women 50 and older, all the ethnicities and income levels. And so we're just getting the data in, and it was asking questions about how women are living their lives right now. And so that will give me a lot of fodder to write about.
I'm very excited to hear about that. So this is not an addendum to, Finding Your Sass After 60. This will be a subsequent publication that you're working on.
Gosh, I hadn't really thought that far. I'd like to write essays or be on interviews like this. That's not why I got on this interview with you, I assure you, but I be able to talk about, to share the information that I feel fortunate enough to have. And I think women are pretty fascinating people, and we do a lot of different things and have a lot of parallel tracks. I'm sure you can relate to that.
Absolutely. Well, hey, speaking of lots of different things that you do and interweaving that, you talked about caregiving, right? And I know there's a lot of emerging activity that's coming out in this sort of art and wellness space and caring for caregivers and caring for those care receivers. So you've dabbled a little bit in this. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your work there?
I'd be happy to. I've done a lot of research on, and it's not just me, it's the World Health Organization and the National Institute of Art. The fact that creativity and creative engagement is really, really good for your brain. It's good for the aging process. I mean, I've read stats about it helps with balance. It helps with memory retention. It helps certainly in social connections when you're in a group with other people and you're engaging in creative activities. It's just so good for you. And it's also good for the caregiver who, may have found themselves in an isolated position, and to be able to make connections that way, and even to work with their care partner in creative endeavors is a really intimate, wonderful, and healing practice. So, and you have some relationship with the Center for Health and Wellbeing in Winter Park, Florida. And the Center for Health and Wellbeing, I've got to give them credit. They believe that creativity should be the third leg of fitness. You've got mind, body, and now they're including creativity. And so they have me do what I call an exercise your creativity class once a month at the center, and it's a free class. It fills up pretty quickly. And it's not that we're trying to get people to be perfect painters or potters, but we expose them. I have a partner, Ann Goodpaster, and we expose people to a lot of different mediums. Not that we are experts in many of these mediums. We just have the supplies. We have kind of a loose plan, and it helps people engage their creative muscles. And when you do, I promise you, you start thinking more creatively about your life and the choices you make and the way you want to live your life. Yeah, I don't want to cook, mashed potatoes and meatballs every night. I want to dress it up. I mean, it doesn't have to be painting. It can be a recipe. It can be the way you get dressed. It can be moving furniture around your house. And it just gives you a little sense of power and control in your own life when so many times we feel out of control, especially in the aging process as we get, infirmities and financial fears. So that's why I'm kind of a creativity evangelist.
I love that. I believe really strongly that, especially when it comes to creative endeavors, like the point of doing things isn't necessarily always to be good at them. The point of doing things is to do them, because the benefit you receive just by doing the art, by joining a choir, by singing a song, by writing poetry, like even if you never show that poem to a single soul, even if you burn the paper up afterward, it's the process of doing the work that benefits you, right?
Yes, you are. Well, you are the person in the choir. So you do know what you're talking about, but it's so true. The thing, and you'll probably find this the case too, talking about choirs, the people who come to our class are members of that choir. They get it. And I really want to make other people feel safe enough to take that step too. Because I've proposed creative exercises and had women run from the room saying, "I'm not creative at all. Give me a book." And it hurts my heart because they've been told that.
Yeah.
If people can be really judgy about all this stuff. And I think there's a creative fit for everybody. It doesn't have to be a very linear drawing with, a charcoal pencil. It can be, I can't draw. But I can draw. It just looks wonky a little bit, and maybe that's who I am. Pottery was much friendlier to me, and so you can pick this pyramid of mediums and find yours, and it helps you with your whole life.
Yeah, absolutely. Did something in particular in your life inspire you to find your sass after 60?
Wow, that's such a good question, Vicki. That's really interesting. I remarried like in 1990, and I think that part of my life became more content. And so then it kind of freed me up to say, okay, and my kids were older, and I think I have a lot to say. I'm sorry if I get all jumbled here. I'm a big fan of a Catholic theologian whose name is Richard Rohr, and he talks about the first and second halves of life. And I think when we don't have to be so fixated on finding a job to pay the mortgage and raise your babies, and your kids get a little older and things get a little more stable, you can start saying to yourself, "What is my purpose? What do I want to do with this next half of my life?" And that's where creativity can come in really handy in helping you do that. I mean, even just the doodling, you think of stuff. Your inner self talks to you and tells you what's good for you and what your truth is. So anyway.
That's wonderful. So, where can folks find you online if they want to order your book, read more about you, book you as a speaker? Where should they go?
Oh, I love you. um, my website is, oddly enough, www.bebravelosthebeige.com. And all my contact information is on there. It's bebravelosthebeige.com. I know that's a mouthful. It's all run together. It doesn't matter caps or lowercase. And I would love to hear from people. I just think this message is an important one, and you obviously do too. And this is your purpose, and this is what you're doing, and it's a wonderful thing.
Oh, thank you. Well, Liz, you are a wonderful person. So thank you so much for your work inspiring people to swap out their beige for magenta and swap out their oh no, I can't for giving it a try, and all that you do to help with this community.
Well, thank you. I'm honored to be on your show.
Aw, thanks so much for being here with us. And thank you for joining us on this edition of Artfully Orange.